Hello Wargamers, it's me Callum from Tabletop Banter, and today it's time for another 1000 for 100 list. This time going over Tyranids. Slowly working my way through all the factions. Gotten a few done so far. It'd be nice to get all of them done and then do maybe variations. So for this list, it took a little bit of searching. I got there in the end. It's exactly 1000 points, and you could argue that this is not super competitive, but I look at it and I think there are some troubling things in this list that I would not like to deal with, and that's how I build my list for armies I don't know, because I don't know that many at all. So I think, what's the best way for me to make these guys a giant pain? What would I not like to go against? So I'm by no means a Tyranid player. I've watched a few battle reports online and I've done a bit of reading into the into some of the stuff, but I don't play them, so this is just my best attempt, really. So for this list, I'll go over what I bought first. Once again, it's from Triple Helix Games, not Games Workshop, because you just can't afford 1000 points for £100. You struggle for 500 sometimes. So the two things I bought, which might seem strange at the moment, but you'll understand why, is the Tyranid Swarm Box, which was £78, and for that you get 40 Hormagaunts, 40 Termagants, 10 Gargoyles, Arcane Effects, and 4 Ripper Swarms. Now you might notice this list is, in fact, £2 over £100, and then I thought, I'm not going to use the Ripper Swarms, or I wouldn't in the list, so you'd be welcome to sell them, and that, I think, would balance it out. So I'm saying it's about it's £102 if you buy the boxes, and I mean that is a bit over, obviously. However, if you do sell those Ripper Swarms, you are then under £100 and you still get the list. So I have decided to include it. The other thing you buy here is the Hive Tyrant model, because they are good. Let's see, so I think probably best is to get stuck in, really. My HQ choice is a Flying Hive Tyrant, because that's pretty popular from what I've read. He has the Norn Crown, which gives him plus 6 inches to his Synapse, which is really important in this list because there's not another Synapse creature. As far as I'm aware, I don't think let me just check that, but I don't think, nope, there is just the one, so he needs that extra 6 inches to make sure everything's in range. Of course he's winged, so you can have him flying or whatever. He has some pretty crazy stats, and I've decided to give him 2 twin-linked Devourers with Brain Leech Worms. My reason behind this was the fact that you get 12 shots re-rolling, and his ballistic skill 4 anyway, so he hits on 3s, re-rolling, and it's more like the weight of fire. He dishes out a lot of wounds. You're bound to lose some sometimes. Obviously in combat he's still quite good with weapon skill 8, initiative 5, and 4 attacks base. So I see this guy as something that people will target quite a lot, which is good because the rest of the list might not be as strong, but there are many models, so it could cause some trouble. So on to the troops choices. I don't think there was anything else. He has a Psyker, so you do get the extra. You get that as well. I mean, that's kind of handy. But on to the troop choices. You'll notice that I've used all of the troop choices from that Swarm box, and it's a lot. So 2 20-man Hormagaunt Broods. These both have Toxin Sacs, so that is oh goodness me, Toxin Sacs is I think it's a poison special rule on their attacks, so they can kill a lot of things very quickly, especially if you've got all 20 getting in there. That's a lot of Hormagaunts. The thing I really like about these guys is the pure number of attacks you can dish out. I mean, I've given them Scything Talons, so you know, it's just user strength AP6, whatever, but 20 guys getting, you know, 2 attacks each. It's 40 attacks. On the charge it's 60. That's a lot. Like a lot. And that worries me as another player. If anyone can get a 20-man Hormagaunt Brute into an attack, into a melee situation, not a lot's going to get past that. So yeah, 2 of those. And then we also have 2 20-man Termagant broods, sorry. And both of those have the Flesh Borer. So the reason I went with that, it's a bit cheaper. These were mainly models on the board. And my thought is these can hold objectives. And they can go and be a pain, if you like. Obviously, they're not the best shooters, Ballistic Seal 3. They're not good in combat either, really. But they're bodies. And if you've got to chew through bodies, it can be a bit of a pain. I say a bit of a pain, it can be a lot of a pain. So that's why I put them down. So that's 40 extra bodies. I mean, you're not going to be able to fire that off of an objective, provided they're in synapse range. So next, after looking at that monster section of troops, we have a gargoyle brood of 10 gargoyles with adrenal glands and toxin sacs. So with the adrenal glands, they get fleet and furious charge, which is quite helpful because they're strength 3. And the toxin sacs gives them the poison special rule. Why I chose these guys, predominantly, is to get them forward. Like, it's something in the way whilst the better stuff moves up. If they can tie up units that can shoot, that's great, because they are jump infantry. And if they can, yeah, like I said, if they can tie up these units, that's great. I mean, I know that they're not iconically good. Strength and toughness 3 makes them easy to wound and easy to kill. I think they can jink. I mean, you're not really going to shoot very much. They have flesh borers, but they're not very useful. So I think you just get these guys up in their faces. It's something that has to be shot at because they can tie you up. So that gives time for the Hormagaunts to get behind. And finally, in heavy support, we have a Carnifex. This again has a twin-linked Devourer with Brain Leech Worms, which sounds very pleasant, and Crushing Claws, which takes him to Strength 10, AP 2, Armor Bane. So this Carnifex, it's difficult to get rid of. You're kind of hoping at this point, when the Carnifex really comes into play, is when most of the things are up the board anyway, and he's going to be up there. Yeah, there's nothing else really that special about him. He's 150 points, so it's quite heavy, but you get 4 wounds, and you know, they're iconic. They are Carnifexes. You know, a lot of people like them. Toughness 6 as well, so it's hard to get to him as well. The reasons I like this list is you get a mix of monstrous creatures and the big sort of swarms. And if I were to play against it, the way I would have to counter that would be get rid of the Hive Tyrant straight away, but you're going to have him flying, perhaps. Reason being, he's the Synapse creature. Now, that is where this list is a bit weak. I really struggle to find cheaper Synapse creatures that you could put in this list, so you'll have to be careful there. Obviously, it's a good start with 1. At least you got 1. And he does have an 18-inch Synapse, which when you actually look at it, it's quite a lot. Obviously with a lot of models, you're going to be struggling to keep that all the time necessarily, but it's not impossible, and I think this is the best way to play the £100 sort of thing, because actually you get a lot for your money in this list, a lot of models. I mean, you get 80 Gaunts. That's a lot, and a Carnifex and 10 Gargoyles, and if you want to keep the Ripper Swarms, whatever, but I mean, you can sell them and it takes under £100. And then you've got the Hive Tyrant as well, so this list gives you a lot to do. Alright, I'm not sure there are many people who love painting 40 Hormagaunts, because I'm sure that is quite a trek, but I still think this list would do alright, provided you can keep Synapse. Keeping that Hive Tyrant alive is a must. But then everything else, just run forwards, get them into combat as quick as possible, and then you're pretty safe. So yeah, that's pretty much everything for this list. So if you're a Tyranid player and you have some better advice for keeping this list more effective while keeping it cheap, comment below, and if not, give me your thoughts anyway and comment below. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because subscribers are what's driving me to do the extra video every week. And that's great, because I enjoy putting out more content, and I feel very encouraged by the Twitter followers and the blog post views, and it's all starting to grow, and I'm very, very happy with that. So thank you very much if you have been a part of my growth. And yeah, please keep watching and reading all of the stuff, and yeah, don't forget to have fun.